teachers of Reddit, what are some of the weirdest things you've confiscated from a student? A sugar glider. Kept hearing a high-pitched squeak in class. Noticed she had a small animal in her jacket pocket when it decided to poke its head out. A student brought one of these to my class. I teach college, so that was fine, and I was super excited and she let me hold it. The students were busy doing some group work, and when they were just about done I went to hand it back to her. It then proceeded to leap down the front of my shirt and attach itself to my bra. A student brought one of these to my class. I teach college, so that was fine and I was super excited and she let me hold it. The students were busy doing some group work, and they were just about done. I went to hand it back to her. It then proceeded to leap down the front of my shirt and attach itself to my bra. So now I'm supposed to be lecturing again, but this girl's sugar glider is not. A little orange lizard in a box with a Charizard Pokemon card taped to it. Edit. To clarify, the card was taped to the box. My father took a cleaver off a student. My dad was doing lunch duty and saw the kid open his jacket and motion his buddies to have a look. Turns out there was going to be a fight after school. My dad knew the kid and asked him to step into the hallway. He got the cleaver off the kid and took him to the office. I'm not sure what his punishment was, but pre-Columbine, so who knows. In 7th grade I accidentally brought a hunting knife to school. I'd been playing with it at home, flipping it and trying to catch it by the handle. I was doing this while it was fastened in a sheath, so no danger or anything. Well, I missed and dropped it. Couldn't find where it went and figured I'd just find it later. Well, I forgot about it. Fast forward about a week. It's the end of the day and I'm cleaning out my backpack at school. Found the knife at the bottom of the bag. Yeah, I'd been carrying the thing to and from school for a week and didn't know. I just shoved it back into the bag before anyone saw and then took it out once I got home. So lucky I didn't get caught with it. A homemade arrow made with a pencil and a modified razor blade. Not really bizarre, but very memorable. I had to take a water bottle that contained some type of fruity vodka. Had to smell it to be sure. I only knew to check because the student was recognizably drunk. This was an 8th grader. The naked lady booby lighter. Kid was 7th or 8th grade in an alternative school setting. He was always sneaking stuff in his pockets and getting it taken up. We are walking to lunch and my assistant stops suddenly. He comes back with a metal naked woman torso in his hand. You could press one boob and the flame came out of the other. It was fantastic. It was super popular in the office for the few days until mom came to pick it up. She was really glad to get family heirloom back. In music class, this kid Oliver pulls out a Matchbox car and starts playing. Teacher takes it, turn around, places it on piano, turns back, he's already gotten the next one out of his pocket and it back to playing, so she took it again, rinse repeat. Funniest thing ever to an 8-year-old. We laugh so ducking hard. A raccoon duck toothpick. He kept poking other kids with it. Sigh. A vitamin B12 vape pen. Didn't know they existed. Not a teacher, but a kid brought a human skull to school. I think the teacher just had a conversation with him about it. I had to confiscate a 7th grader's iPad because he was looking up anime girl body pillows. Camp counselor here. We have permission to go through bags to confiscate prohibited items like food and electronics and knives. One girl had a Tupperware full of what looked like the oldest peanut butter imaginable smeared all over the Tupperware. I brought it to my co-workers, and we all tried to smell it, but it smelled different to all of us. Literally no clue what this was. Asked the girl about it one day and she goes, that's my plant, like it's obvious. Apparently it was some kind of fungus or algae to apply to sunburns. I taught English in South Korea for a year. One time I caught a kid doing the old comic book inside a textbook routine. I was surprised. I didn't know kids did that. After laughing, I confiscated his comic book. Not confiscated, but actually given as a gift. A bag of her hair. A bag of every strand of hair she's had cut since birth. When I was in school, my English teacher confiscated 50 Shades of Grey off another pupil during our silent reading time. We would have been in year 7 or 8 at the time. My classmate, who was the dumbest class clown, tried to kick off about it and asked the teacher why it being taken away, and the teacher calmly said, "I'm not letting you read that, it's terribly written. It's as if it's been written by someone on a train, edited, added not." Student here. In grade 4, a student in my class brought his cat into class. In grade school I had two really close friends named Juan and Nick. Here is a picture of us that I love with me in the front, then Juan, and then Nick. The three of us were really close and bonded of our shared nerdy interests of reading, Star Wars, and The Simpsons. We also really enjoyed drawing. I don't remember how it started exactly, but we ended up making this notebook that we passed back and forth between us. It was a comic about a guy named Tom and his cat. We would each take turns doing a strip of a few panels and then hand it over. Here is a quick drawing I did of Tom on my phone so you can get an idea of what he looked like. The comic was about the everyday life of Tom and it was extremely mundane. It was things like Tom tries to decide on a shirt or Tom dropped the cat food on the floor. It was really dumb stuff, but the three of us found it so hilarious because we were weird. Weird kids. One day our teacher caught us with the notebook and confiscated it from us. She never said a word about it, but I bet when she looked through that thing she probably thought it was the weirdest fucking thing ever, especially since we were laughing hysterically at it when she took it from us. A taxidermied kookaburra. She'd taught herself how to do it from books. It was not done well. A live white kitten. They had brought it in to give to their friend. The friend's parents had no idea and did not want a cat. These kids were 12 and 14, so I don't know where their common sense was. The cat was safely retrieved and went home with the principal for his son. Small Tupperware container of swamp water. I'm a student, but me and my friends thought it was a good idea to make a slingshot type thing and shoot it at each other using it. It was made with a binder, a rubber band and really sharp pencils. We even shot nails and other found items. We got found on lunch recess shooting at each other. Got it taken away and dismantled. We just made more. I had to confiscate an 11th grader's laptop because she was going to EHM, mature themed chat rooms during class. Specifically ones for married men looking to chat with young girls. Yee. Then, after she wasn't allowed to bring her laptop or phone to school anymore, she later got banned from school Chromebooks for doing it again. She was not very bright. Not a teacher, but my cousin is, and she had to take a Ziploc bag full of vodka-soaked gummy bears from some freshman. Nothing like getting drunk at 8 in the morning. A turtle. She had stolen it from the biology teacher's room and had it in the bathroom sink. Not a teacher, but someone who helps 5th graders adapting to their new school. We usually are a team of 5 or 6 older pupils who look after one class. Anyways, one day one of these kids wasn't paying attention to us and constantly playing with something under his desk. I then took it and it was 2 phones tied together back to back with rubber bands. To this day I don't know what this construction was for. One of my students brought in a human anatomy textbook, and when he walked into class he has it open to the page with diagrams and anatomical drawings of the female genitalia. This was in 1st grade, by the way. I just held on to it for the day and sent it home with a note. This same student also brought a DVD copy of The Mummy during the first week of school, lol. It wasn't exactly a confiscation. Some of my students thought it would be a good idea to bring me 2 chickens. 2 live chickens. They knew my daughter had a pet duck that had recently died, so this was their idea to help us get past the grief. I had to keep them in a carrier in my classroom closet in the dark just so they would be quiet, the chickens, not the kids. By the end of the day I found a kid with a grown mother that had a farm. She took the chickens home. As a principal, I once confiscated 3 voodoo dolls that I instantly recognized as 3 bad students. They had been picking on this sophomore girl, and she decided to fight back with what she knew. And she wasn't some innocent kid. She was as strange as 3 cans of chicken feed. I always wondered after that day if she ever made one of those things of me. Paperclip action figure about 9 inches high, made up of what had to be 100 to 200 roughly bent up paper clips. I teach little ones, so nothing nearly as risque as some of the others in this thread. I've confiscated handcuffs, a wrench, baby bottles, and a variety of bugs and small animals the kiddos caught out at recess. A colleague confiscated an adult movie from a 5-year-old. The kid didn't know what it was, didn't even know that it was a videotape, or anything about it. It just looked cool, the tape itself. He didn't know of the content.